Alright, so I'm here with my thoughts on Benoit. I don't even think I've talked about this since I've had this channel. I don't even think I've made one video on it, or might have talked about it a little bit, but I'm here with my thoughts on Benoit. Now a lot of people think they have it in their mind. Once you get told something, it's the truth. We got told Benoit murdered his family and committed suicide. You know, and I'm one to always question everything, and I think it's a very good possibility that Kevin Sullivan might have done it. Now, I'm not saying he did or anything, but it should be brought up though. Like, did he do it? Kevin Sullivan. If you do research on it, and there's like more facts. I watched a video ways back on it and done a little bit of research on it. It makes you question: did Benoit actually kill his family, or did Kevin Sullivan did it? And it was they got it wrong. I don't know. I don't really know. I can't say one way or another really, but it's worth looking. Call me crazy. I'm sure people will, but just because you're told something doesn't mean it's true. I mean, murders are wrong. Police get the murders wrong and who did them all the time. I mean, it happens a lot. So, I mean, it's worth looking at, and it's worth bringing this back up again. And like, Benoit was like murdered. Kevin Sullivan. I'm pretty sure. Benoit's wife. They were ex Kevin Sullivan and Benoit's wife. They used to be married, and then Benoit supposedly murdered his family on the 10th anniversary of Kevin Sullivan and Benoit's wife's anniversary. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to like look at and shit like that. But again, I don't know. But let's just say for the record, you always get people like bashing WWE for not even recognizing Chris Benoit anymore. Or, it's always a big talk. Let's say he did murder his family. Me, I would still show Chris Benoit because, in fucking, videos on my YouTube channel and put them on my whatever, I would still show him. Because just because you take him off your website doesn't mean he's off of all of YouTube. I mean, it's ridiculous what they're trying to do with Benoit. Take him off of YouTube or whatever, WWE. He murdered his family. It's not we're doing hypothetical here, people. He murdered his family. It's not WWE's fault, And we should still be able to see him, on fucking, if we want to, go and watch his matches again. I mean, it's not WWE's fault that he did what he did, So that's my thoughts on that. It is, if he murdered his family, it's obviously not a good thing. And that's what he'll be, regardless of if he did it or not, he'll be remembered for that, and that will overshadow his quality, his good wrestling matches, and, unfortunately. And, but yeah, I find it hard to believe, though, that he murdered his family, because, and I was also watching a Kevin Nash interview on a mainstream news, I think it was Fox News or something. Kevin Nash was on, and he was talking about steroids, and he didn't believe that steroids can make a person do that. And he's done steroids before, so he was speaking out of personal experience. So, I find it hard to believe that just because you get a few concussions or you take steroids, I don't know though, because I've never had a concussion, I've never taken steroids, I've never taken drugs, I've never fucking got drunk. So, I don't really fucking know. But, I find it hard to believe, though, that just because Benoit was on steroids, he would murder his family. I don't think, and it's not like he was obviously on a lot of them, because he wasn't a big guy. But, I mean, I guess it's possible. But there's just too many pieces to the puzzle, I think, that don't add up. That doesn't add up to me. And I just question the whole story, you know, whether something else happened. Did he murder his family and then commit suicide? I don't know. You know, I just question the whole thing. I encourage you guys. There's a good video on YouTube. I think it's titled Chris Benoit, or did Kevin Sullivan kill Chris Benoit? It's a two-part video. It's like 10 minutes each video, so 20 minutes long, I believe. I think it has two parts. It was a very good little video there. I mean, do some research on it yourselves. It's pretty interesting to look into it and just question it. You know, I don't know. I'm still dumbfounded of, you know, did he murder, you know, it doesn't matter what scenario it is. I'm still dumbfounded, because if he murdered his family, why did he do that? I don't know. We'll probably never know. And if Kevin Sullivan did it, then why didn't they, you know, convict him? And, you know, why did they blame Benoit so fast and they didn't investigate, you know? So I got questions no matter what happens, really. But, you know, Chris Benoit, it's a shame, you know, that this did happen. It's a shame that they all three died. And it is a tragedy that they all died. But, you know, millions of people have died, you know, thousands of people die each day from various other things, you know. I mean, there's wars going on with, you know, ISIS killing all those Christians now. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, they publicize and make it seem like this is a huge fucking deal. And, I mean, in WWE it is, but if you look at the whole world, I mean, there's tons of people dying, getting their heads chopped off because they're Christians. So, I mean, that's a tragedy too. So, yeah, there you go, people. There's my thoughts on Chris Benoit.